The king of Tibet thought he was sitting at the chessboard. I can't help but applaud. No blame. You can survive under the power of the wind. Until now. I thought it was so hard to see her. The Lord looked at him, laughing coldly. With your understanding and application of life and death. If I put you in a world without us. But there are martyrs. I'm afraid that soon. You can become a hypocrite. Of martyrdom. I thought I was making a really hard look at her. Sao said that again. The Tibetan king directly reared the post. Don't pretend anymore. I thought I didn't see your little tricks. The fire on you. You have long been secretly given life. Now even we can't make them wrong. If you think that, there is no hiding the smile. Has been discovered. Another party far away executed. I brought back a wooden box. Your Majesty has sent to another king. To prepare to replace the Kier. He nodded his head. Don T let people wait too long to die. SA is about to leave. Then Gao suddenly called back. Waiting for the SA to execute, turn around and look at him. What else did you tell me? Hai calmly replied. I've thought of a more suitable candidate. After a while, they went to the place where they thought they were going to talk to him. After hearing what they want me to do, I can't help but be amazed. What do you want? I will escort this king to Sao. He nodded his head. That's right then. I also ask you to stay at the intersection of Yin and Yang city to welcome the penal team how to do. As they approach. I thought laughing could be. But you're not afraid of me half rebelling. Turn to the pagan side Sao. Or they can work too hard. To sit and watch you and the foreign powers fight to the defeat, the High Spear calmly replied. At least you need to do your word. In the most basic way, even without that oath. I will not believe you will join the Gentiles. Or find refuge watching the Kier outlaws make a mess. After all, no one knows the power of the gods better than you. If you wanted to follow them, you would have fallen a long time ago. There's no need to wait until now. I thought I was helpless and let me go. Finish the thought. Gao Sheng looked at the Tibetan king. What about you? I can find you a suitable body. But before you and long separated. I hope, return control of the card body for a long time. And secretly protected long in office. Tibetan Wang laughed. Looks like you're not seriously ill. There is no cure. I agree, Gao nodded. Okay, now we're going to get you back on the ground. To move the scene to the Shou Highway in Ho Trans district, at a certain point of blood. It's a very murky atmosphere. There is only one court in the blood. On the shore right now, there's a bunch of people carrying these wooden chests. To go to the edge of blood. A middle-aged man looked at the old woman next to him. Asked Kuang. How do you see this? He is 1,000,000 foreign members, a great household in the district. Mrs. Kier immediately responded. Don't worry about what she promised. It will definitely be done. That quickly out of the cloak took out a trumpet. Then quickly put up mouth blowing non-stop. This old lady is the lady. She is considered a fairy in the village. Responsible for connection between the local household and the long bar. The sound of the trumpet quickly echoed across the lake. To hear the sound, below the blood only, immediately countless demons raised their heads. The people with them saw the devil. Quickly turn around and run away. When 1,000,000 people saw that, they immediately shouted. Don't run away. I've been buying your lives my whole life. You can't run. The only one left is a wandering martial artist of the Jiang district. Striptease Nail. He's the bodyguard that millions of foreigners temporarily hired. Beneath the blood, only. Quickly, there was a young man slowly going up, waiting in front of her grandmother. He just stopped asking. "What's wrong?" she quickly replied. "Million foreign members in the district. I would like to invite a statue of blood, to reassure and protect the family." Finished talking, she then raised her eyes and signaled for millions of foreign members. Behind the back, million foreign members immediately understand the idea, quickly move forward. "You're right. The raw materials are ready. It's my late husband who just died." The young man glanced at him. "You know the rules of the ILO, right? I want to be a blood god. They need the blood of 14 pairs of babies. 2 barrels of blood from 2 pregnant women who died. Some rare medicinal herbs and jade of all kinds." Millions of foreigners clapping and laughing. I know. I've brought enough of that." Then quickly turn around and shout. Come on, get the box up here." The wooden chests, quickly carried in front of the young man. Then open out inside. That's exactly what he said earlier. Check through those tired wooden chests. The young man nodded with satisfaction. "Okay, then we'll." Before I finished, there was a sound in the back. The young man immediately looked back. The old court in the middle of the lake suddenly moved. Water waves on the blood only also suddenly swayed violently. He quickly reminded the foreign millions. "You're here for a moment. I'll send someone to collect the tribute later." Finished talking, quickly moved the body towards the blood only. Fast forward, he ran to the front of the court. Then, quickly jumped up on a room in it. Inside stood a young man, talking to that AI through glass. The one who talked to him was a gangster. He looked at the young Kier reassuring. "Don't worry. My men will arrive in an hour at the most." This young man is the owner of Along. In the Middle Kingdom, he is the embodiment of a fake suicide note. To hear the master's assurances, he clasped his hands. God does not speak. Get out of this accident. He will be devoted to the owner. Wait for the glass to disappear. The new Kier youth spoke up. "Long master disciple, I have just heard the cry of the blood of Ra. Not the vice president. And the elder one too get the head of the newly installed show. It's 7 players. This young man is an old man. 2 VI level A. The high priest is the blood, the name is not." The police officer replied that it was more serious than that. "This time our old dress appears. Omen of extinction, inheriting a compressed incense time later." The millions of foreigners patiently stood by the shore. Blood is just waiting. Millions of foreign tablets just wiped the sweat on their forehead. It's hard to understand. It's been so long. I haven't seen them send someone to collect the tribute yet. Dancer nails on the side, folded hands in front of the chest. It's not hanging us. Will the price increase later? When she heard that, she looked at him angrily. What are you talking about? At the top of the clouds. Now there's a light flying by. That light is the 2 Ning Trung people. With the theme Can Quan, riding on Van Long. Nin Trung glanced at the foreigners below. This group of people is really bad luck. Come here right away, the moment we strike with the long stick. It's a disaster for no reason. The owner sitting next to him immediately responded. They are not basically innocent. I am very clear. How much does it cost to work for a long time? They're all trash. They need to be sent to the deepest level of hell. I also asked my religious friends. Block the road, to deal with reinforcements that may come from the demons. Keep a watchful eye around. Just leave me this long. Nin Trung nodded. Be inside the bar for a long time. People are also in a hurry right now. This person is a long time. Inherited the inhuman reality Lim Heng. Excellent cultivation. It is the sign of the sheik and the conduit of the mantra. After hearing the Chinese sutra, he stroked his chin, thinking Chu Tuk died in the Battle of the South Seven gloomy. Strict legend Hoa is trapped in Liacheng. High-level forces of the great reduce so much. They don't have the clutter to protect themselves. What are you going to do with us? It's also a big move. You don't have to kill a monkey like that. This man is a long-time physician, 2 elders, excellent cultivation, Tong Yu Prison 7 solution. Integrity. And Assassin 3 is determined to hear the non-human entity speak. He spoke up. I'm not sure if the attack happened. It could be 5 tones at the opening. The court was busy replenishing its forces. There is no time to control them. That's why they came to us for revenge. The non-physical entity is even more suspicious. That's even weirder. We dominate the land is the blood. There's been a long time of disaster. Why can they think? To kill a long time. We can't win. I can't even escape into the blood. Just not sitting on one side yelling loudly, but they've actually been on their way here. And the master of fortune tellers on the evil side of the ward. It was also confirmed for the 2nd time. We're really in danger of killing the body. What we need to do now is talk. Develop strategies to deal with immediate risks. You fuck if there is no response. Then shut up. Don't waste everyone's time. The angry inhuman entity screams. Just don't think because you're chosen to be a priest. Give yourself a level higher than others. You can only live up to 25. When I hear them argue, I am helpless. Hold your head and don't know what to say. Suddenly, the old man's voice trembled violently again. Horrified people looked at each other. Is the SAO earthquake? The median face is down. It's not an earthquake. Those who want to destroy. It's our cult. It's here in the yellow sky now. Was covered in a cloud of Venus. Old Master Thien Can Quan, standing in the center of the golden light scream. Big hee. Feud between the 2 factions. We'll remove it all today. Finished talking, he immediately pressed the enforcer of Thien Can Quan, the original esoteric occult organ of heaven. The general, he's just developed the occultist. Then above the nobility of San Engok Temple, there is also movement. He is one of the 6 saints of the world. The owner of the primordial Jade Palace of Heaven. To hear the call, he looked at where that call came from. After a moment, he was a little surprised. Zhaoshan, the world of 2.414, is not the world of the SAO capital. It is the world of abundance. He quickly responded to the call. To divide into a separate way, falling down. See the body legs, the prime minister of the primordial god. Christmas. Master Thien Can face, extremely happy. Glancing at the long bar. Is the full god of heaven. The master of infinite chaos replied to me. See that fate is on my side. But not on your side for a long time. He then quickly bowed to the procession. Lower disciples digging sun map. God's will is to destroy the demons. The original God opened his eyes and glanced down, killing the fake king. Devil Lake Temple. Voluntarily give up relatives to practice evil, but pagan. Kill people for fake karma. It's a bunch of demons in human guise. The people of the bar below looked up. It's also incredibly scary. Is heaven. The Lord God is with us. But the small heaven. It's not empty or SAO. Why is this general so full? Primal deity glanced at Peach Sun asking. You've spent your whole life trying to summon me. Just to bury these insects. It's really worth it. Peach Paint Bow Glass clasped hands. It is worth it, because this is the lifelong wish of the disciple. God raised his hand and sighed. Whatever you want. Next to strong, just immediately hit down. If you don't see that, immediately scream. What is the owner doing now? The economy laughed extremely sadly. The risk of death is like this. And then the ghost of heaven. Dissolved, Dafa fled. This is the greatest learning of the left. The rest of us are not as specific. So immediately crushed by a thread of primordial heaven. The blood just trembled violently, along with the destruction of the old. Nin Trung is not far away, is in a state of flood, hovering in the air. I can see the old man being defeated so easily. He was a little unbelievable. These are the top 10 in the world. At SAO trump card of Thien Can Quan, it's been so much longer than that. The trump card of the Y bar for a long time. One just hit down San by long Y stick. The next heaven. Turn your eyes to the distance. That's the direction the economy is fleeing. He was a little surprised. To get out of my mechanical lock. At the cost of mercantile principles. Life force serious damage. Tiger Free is a world controlled by the wind. The practitioners here. The trick of running away is really Gao Ming. Then he glanced at the mountain. At the bottom of the lake, there's a man who hasn't died yet. Maybe the devil helped him get some of his life. He left it for you to handle. We chase the fugitive. Beneath the serum, only, Yellow now only has a pile of ruins left. Li doesn't flinch floating on the lake. The fire is sick in him. It can always be extinguished immediately. Beneath the blood, only quickly have the pious replaced dry by condensed blood. It's the soul of Huzhu. Blood retention corresponding to the Devil City disaster. It looks just doesn't say. To help you stop this one life. The water in the lake is more than half empty. When the Kier deity comes back. I thank you. I won't hesitate to stab us to death. I don't want to die, and I think you don't either. It's our only chance now. It's about being one. Destroy the one standing in the sky. Before that, God comes back. Then quickly fled into the mountains. I know you don't have the strength to respond to me. If you agree with my opinion, then close your eyes. I will preside over the unification ritual. If you don't hear that, close your eyes quickly. Blood in the lake. Immediately through the 5 senses to enter the body only. Sun Tu Island stood in the air, looking at Long said. Van Long, brother. Energy accumulated throughout the old man's life. They are all used to summon and maintain the god of the gods. The demons under the lake. Please come out and clean the dragon. This is the celestial light, the beast of Van Long, corresponding to the calamity wind and lightning. When he heard the mountain saying, he nodded. It doesn't matter. Bottom, most of the foreigners are a little scared right now. This is a miracle except for me. Why are we involved? We're not going to get involved. In the sky, Van Long now called to a dark cloud. Inside the hidden electric lightning, extremely flickering people. He stared at the blood below and yelled. That's where the 9 most important disciples of the right. Immediately hit down. Its target is lead. Is floating on lead blood. Lead not now. We've just completed the integration process. His state. This is the incarnation of the devil. As soon as the lightning struck, he immediately opened his eyes. The key moment. Still be able to hide from the lightning. Another side, the Chinese are still trying to escape. The senses on his face had fresh blood. Non-stop spraying out. He just bit his teeth and said, out. Pure stick to the foot soldiers, likes to interfere with other people. That the Taoist worship, Feng Kier. From the Han dynasty to this. Clearly, it's rare for the gods to respond. Down in this world. Why such a special case? I load a VA, right? At this time, the body of the original deity. suddenly appeared on the top of his head. He stared at the Chinese sutra. I let you run away long enough. Horrified, he raised his head and looked up. I can't make a move yet. It was originally deified by heaven. Used 2 hands to capture death. Finished dealing with the enemy, he just stood there looking in the distance. I left the demon lake and the temple lake. It should be enough. Let them handle it for a while. Let's find the old man first. When he thought of this, he raised his hand and pressed the calculation button. After a while, he said, I found it. At the top of a mountain. On a mountain trail. There's a fat monk slowly walking around. God doesn't know where it came from. He suddenly appeared in front of the monk. Where is the work I gave you? He quickly clasped his hands. Disciples worship the original master of heaven. I looked at him cold. Don't use this face to call me Master Liu. I nod my head. Yes, master. Then quickly from the appearance of a great Buddha, turned into a bearded Han. Then I quickly started telling everything. After studying the rudimentary incarnations and the second gods, by resorting to charms, then we'll lower the world with beacons, after confirming that everything is possible. The student has returned to ecstasy. Report research results with the standard. And the 2 saints. After nothing else happens. And the disciple was also unscathed. Then the disciple relies on the crude incarnation. Still in this world. That come back. Then start looking for the person you've entrusted. Check it out. Is he really trapped in this world? Musician puts the whole Nin dead. The embodiment of sound and destruction. But until now, I've been searching for more than 10 animals. But there was no clue what the disciple suspected. Was he invaded by an alien? Enter this world and find. Or sealed in some kind of hellscape. The original God shook his head. We don't get any news from his people in a world of chaos. About Ninbalia Special Forces has returned to its position. That means he hasn't been found by the aliens. Not so much about sound. The old man continued to give his opinion. Or the powers that have been calculated are wrong. Actually, I am not trapped in this world. The original God immediately rejected it. If you're not trapped in this world, why do you think this place is being smashed? Together with the Greek cascade to universal. At the same time, pay attention to, at Sao Kier, in Bitch Du Palace. Again sent 3 targets to the ceiling. Do you really think that? New mortals are promoted to the first red earth. In this world, we haven't even gone through the big fight before. It's possible to identify trends in war. In the world Sao. To listen to the original heavenly religious teachings. I can't sweat enough to ho-he. Move the scene back to the old blood. Just not right now. Stop fleeing from Van Long's lightning. After turning into a blood devil. All aspects of him. They're all significantly enhanced. The speed too. Van Long's electric lightning. He couldn't keep up with his speed at all. He was easily evaded by him. Van Long in the air is also helpless uttered. This fireman's going too fast. He saw that Van Long could do nothing. The enemy came to talk. Let me control him. Concentrate on the electricity. After saying that, he quickly pressed the mantra. Then draw out the damaged 01 seal. Fitting seal finished. Quickly orient, just don't fly too. Very quickly lead has not been sealed off. There's no way to keep moving. Locked up in the air. He was horrified, exclaimed. The damn thing is self-determination. And Long on one side did not miss this opportunity. You died with Dad. The 9 retreats of the 4th life immediately descend. A terrorist electric lightning rod. More than a few times. I don't know how many. It's coming straight from the air. Just not fend off the big gnawing teeth. Your side is not finished yet. 2. Under the blood, a human face immediately appeared. Then long people in the air. It is full of doubt. His face slowly soared. It's time to pay the interest. At this time, the original gods returned. He appeared next to his face and said, "Why are you still fighting?" When he finished speaking, a lawyer struck him in the face. When Ning Trung saw that, he opened his mouth again. It's a Sao again. Smashing people's faces. The original god glanced at. Just not in the distance. There's still fish in the net. 2. He looked at it for a moment and was a little surprised. Oh, a small part of that was separated. And merge with your temple, right? Look at the original body of the heavenly god in the distance. I can't understand the words. It's impossible. My master used the secret of escape. Considered the best in the world. Why is he? They just take a little time. Little like that. In him, the sound of the soul's rushing blood echoing. Don't worry about this. I have removed the spell of self-determination. Take advantage of it and escape now. Listen to this reminder. The lead didn't immediately turn around and run away. Don't say anything. God is standing still, hands up high. Then a just pat down struck towards the lead no. Lead not looking only French it to the back. It's just helplessly screaming, it's impossible. Then his body. He was beaten to dust by this one thread. The blood was torn in half by this one thread, revealing countless skulls, the bones below. Handle it all. God turned his head and looked at the mountain. There is still some air that you have prepared for me. Not used yet. This world is being invaded by aliens. We'll use some of the remaining gas to make a small object. Can remove the noise of the extraterrestrial. Peach paint clasps hand bow glass answer all. God's power to decide. Primal heaven quickly gave hand. Painted in the air. Then quickly put to hands out needing condenser. After a while, something that looks like a pendant. It was made by him. He gave it to me. Then when you meet the Lord, put it on. This object has the same rank as the national flag. Its name is Quiet, capable of suppressing the whisperings of the alien and isolate the contamination of the gods. Another hidden effect is that when this object is exposed to solid-state sound waves, Ninba La Fat Ra, the creator of it will receive a warning. After doing it all, the gas that he digs, the paint reserves for him, are also used up. The legs of the primal god quickly disappear. Nin Trung has just turned around to ask about digging Sun Gu. Why are you hiding from us? Thien Can Quan, you can contact God. If I knew you had such support, have died. I won't let you waste it on the sword. Sun Island laughing toy. No, this was a total surprise. Under normal circumstances, only when the Taoist is in danger of death. The new gods are very small to answer our call. What about the God of heaven is incomplete. The old man used the accumulated energy all his life. It can only last 5 minutes. When Ning Trung heard that, he woke up and nodded. So that's how you turn the scene to the devil. The teacher looked at the opposite. I'm dead already. I can't help but nod my head. Yes, the tank has just calculated Ra. The teacher's face wrinkled. The boy is not as strong as his master. But it's good. In addition to that, the great Dharma is dissolved, and the devil's blood that he took from Willow to an Thang, and the only blood control of the Ilu bar. It's completely out of the ear. People who can kill it quickly. Why could he be killed so easily? even if I lose face a little. But it's also to be safe. He just said he just put a light scratch on his hand. Then use your own fresh blood. Glass construction details. Inside the glass, a strange image appeared. I saw the gypsy contact me. He's a little confused. What's wrong? Master Jiang quickly got straight to the point. Because it's about the big picture, I'll be honest. His middle and long sleeves was destroyed by the Dark Master. We plan, the enemy's next target is the devil. That's why I need you to leave immediately. Come quickly to the south. Move the scene to the other side. You two think the same thing right now. We're heading into the city together. I thought I was walking, and I was amazed. What a surprise, when the test of the founding monarch. Big Kier. It doesn't make it easy on my oath. We're becoming less and less optimistic about the possibilities. He can beat my old master. Organ right now. He returned control of his body for a long time. When you hear him talk, you turn your head and look at him. You don't have to be optimistic. We can still win too. I thought I was staring back and asking why. After waking up to the memory of his past life, you must have noticed. My former master has been cruel to your past life. How is the organ? You really think that? Or pulled down by moral shackles? There will be a chance to win. When confronted with the former owner, there's nothing taboo about me. When I heard that for a long time, the bass did not speak. At this time, the two of you are stuck, suddenly appeared in front of them. The ceremony is over, Trong. He looked towards me thinking this was. I quickly held up the royal statue in my hand. Smiling, I am responsible. Escort the new emperor to the capital. A moment later, I thought I went to the palace of the city. He quickly went to the temple of the middle knee. Because this is a city in the sky. So now, the statue of the middle kneel. It's not the golden body that emits the glimmer. But instead, it's a big, fat, bearded Han statue. Imagine seeing the devil in front of you. The corners of the mouth are slightly raised. It turns out that the helper you're looking for is this one. This is really a big help, Sao. As soon as I entered the temple, general body kneeling at the bottom of the city in the devil. I can sense someone coming down. Is to replace me as Sao. I thought I was going to the temple of the devil. Look outside for a moment. Then he quickly jumped inside. This may be our first meeting. The 4 towns of the army. Move the scene to the direction. On the way from the capital to Hein Duong. There are 2 people standing in the way right now. These 2 men are the elders. Uninhibited anonymous and elegant long vice long master. Nourish exam middle 9 suspect or uttered. That's not right. According to the reason, they must have come yesterday. I still can't see the shadow. So don't tell me. This new Zhou Duke was co-conspirated in the central plot. And the city guards ambushed and beheaded. A lot of people are riding now. Move extremely fast. After a while, they came close to the Chinese 9. Care to find out? Speak up a reminder. The enemy is blocking the road ahead and preparing to fight. 9 saw the horsemen coming. Then make a judgment. Tam La Private Trong in care. The person next to them. It must be this generation. Wait, the new princess is a woman. Not 6 men born in 6 cities. Not someone with high hopes. Take power Nam Min Fire Sao. He had long since jumped out of the horse. Take the knife straight to him. I saw one of your knives. Coming in front of the Chinese 9. Then the unknown immediately rushed to stop between the 2. Put your hands on the low. The strange thing is that the school of long pierced through the opponent's hand. But there wasn't any blood coming out. When you see it, you start thinking in your heart. The palm of the hand is punctured, but does not bleed. Plus this coin mask. This man is not a diamond. Behind the two of you, he also carried the sword now. Lord, we are here to help you. Chinese 9 quickly put on 7 color mask. Look at them say out. I can't let you bother me. Promotion ceremony of the great elder. Walk with me for a moment. He said he just put his hand up. The 7 color mask. This is the temple of the Old Testament. His name is Bodhi Lam. Put this mask on. They can send people to hell. Follow his snapping movements. The 2 men's bodies together with himself. Quickly become illusory, disappear in place. Move the scene back. The city manager thought to go to the area volunteer. Instant condensation. The devil's body quickly appeared. He looked at the enemy and asked, You are the Queen of Heaven. I thought I saw him nod. I thought I was going to ask you if you could. Let me know a little bit. The Lord of Heaven kept you there. According to your knowledge of him. It's just a reminder of his left hand. He is also fully capable of handling the devil. That the ceremony left behind. Even though the trick that the prince of the underworld we hold. Master Feng actually knows. Even more harmful than us. When the devil heard that, he thought. After a while, look at the enemy. What do you mean? Thought when he saw such a tense atmosphere. He shook his hand, smiling. Please don't get me wrong. I have no intention of separating you. Because to express my intentions, I can also use a secret message. Maybe you care too. To make a rock detector. The devil sighed, forget it. You have withstood the pursuit. Hundreds of years of capital. But we're not sure we can handle this. This world now. There was no chance to try and fix it. I thought I didn't care what he said, so keep talking. God's will was lost after 7 failures of the capital. Not currently in. Hell falls into the responsible hands of Gao. The founding monarch of the great. When the devil heard it, he was terrified. What do you mean, move the scene to the other side? The 2 of you right now was taken to a dark space. Desolate at the feet of a dead body. Soberly observe around suspicious or uttered. This place is him. Just as I said, there was the sound of 9. This is Lamb's suicide. This is the secret of the Iota stick. The importance of it. Just behind the scourge. I have lost my precious blood. It is a bit surprising to hear the sound of a long time. Watch Raw 7 pathetic defeat at the South Tao sword. It doesn't make you remember long. It's only been a few years. You have forgotten his warning. I told you. Who stepped out of the sword, Nam Tao killed not spared. Middle 9 took down the mask laughing cold watching the speaker Kier. The story of the serious disappearance of Hoa besieged in Liacheng. Lin has spread throughout the southern way and long right-way swords. Can we survive out of the city or not? It's still unclear. Why do we have to limit ourselves? Because of the words of a dying man. He looked at the enemy in a cold voice. I see you are the one who is going to die. Laughing, don't be so angry. He pointed at the back. You have to think carefully. The temple behind me. It's the burial site of a dead king. Somewhere in the world outside my isobar. The killer of this king. And the people in it. You can join in killing the king. I'm afraid no one knows how to get in or out of this place anymore. If I die, you'll be trapped here. Buried with me. Move the scene outside. After the Trong people disappeared, not in a hurry for a long time. Just stand there and stare at the enemy. The coin mask on the face of the unknown. Is Kai